So I'm just glad to introduce our next speaker. She's a champion, a malaria champion, also part of the Global Civil Society for Malaria Elimination. Zeinabou Ide is from Niger, and she has a word to share with us. Thank you.
Dear ambassadors, distinguished guests, my name is Zeinabou Ide. I come from Niger, a francophone sub-Saharan African country, and I represent the communities affected by malaria. I have had to deal with this disease several times in my life, and it has cost the lives of two people who were very dear to me. They died from its very serious form called neuromalaria. Yes, malaria, that familiar yet deadly malaria that should not be belittled. Statistics have shown us that 620,000 people died of it in 2020. I am currently working in Cameroon at Impact Santé Afrique, an NGO led by young African women and the global platform CS4Me to contribute in the fight against malaria. Former Kenyan President Jomo Kenyatta said, "Our children may learn about the heroes of the past. Our task is to make ourselves architects of the future." This vision has left a deep impression on me because our predecessors paved the way for us to make Africa shine. On the occasion of the commemoration of the fight against malaria in this month of April, we seized the opportunity to commend the salutary efforts of African and international leaders. They spared no efforts to eliminate this scourge from our continent, which is the most affected by a disease that remains preventable and curable. As I speak, a child under the age of 5 dies every minute from malaria. This is why we are asking for more solidarity from you, their leaders, towards the most vulnerable to ensure equitable access to health for all. Our continent is rich with a young and dynamic population, a young population that is no longer inured and stands by your side in this struggle that has gone on for too long. Is it not said that a population in good health is the guarantee of a prosperous, strong, and invincible continent? We have a strategy, a common agenda for all. So, dear leaders, national and international partners, community health workers, civil society, all of us together have a role to play in this fight that will lead to the elimination of malaria. The Global Fund Partnership has saved more than 44 million lives since its founding in 2000. This multi-stakeholder partnership has enabled millions of people to gain access to treatments and medicines that were once too expensive, yet vital to their survival, especially for people living with HIV, tuberculosis, and malaria. These funds have also saved pregnant women who have given birth to healthy babies thanks to the preventive malaria treatment, for example. Now, more than ever, it is necessary, yet even critical, that you mobilize to secure at least the 18 billions needed for this seventh replenishment of the Global Fund to save 20 more lives and build the resilience of our health system. These people you will save are our parents, brothers and sisters, our children. Dear embassies, ladies and gentlemen, dear partners, more concretely, civil society is asking today an effective contribution of the co-financing of the African countries for the Global Fund to increase the domestic resources allocated to health by at least 3% this year, because too many of our countries have not yet respected the commitment made in Abuja in 2001. As a reminder, African Union countries have committed to allocating at least 15% of the annual budget to improving the health sector. 2, a symbolic 50% increase in contribution from Global Fund recipient countries compared to 2019. 3, the recognition of community health workers as agents of states with remuneration commensurate with their efforts, because their work in the field concretely shows that malaria has declined in their areas of intervention. To date, most of them are supported by external funding such as PMI, the Global Fund, and others. Which puts the sustainability of our community health system at risk. Is it essential, dear leaders, that African countries take more leadership in health financing by limiting external aid and dependence? Dear leaders, let us ensure that we leave a legacy other than the burden of malaria for future generations. Let's ensure that we have another challenges to face and that malaria is no longer one of them. Let's continue to fighting for what counts to meet the target. Thank you.